All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about why we are the gathering. Um, why do you think we are called the gathering? Hunter?
Because it's a gathering of people, and the gathering was an important moment in the Bible. In the last meeting between the disciples and Jesus.
Sander?
Or gathered. I saw a thing. I saw a thing that said a gathering of imperfect people. I saw that in a Facebook.
Yep.
That's also the church.
That's also the church mission statement too, pal.
Well, there's this
Gathering of imperfect people.
seeking no eternal knowledge.
Cole?
Because we're gathering to be inside the encounter.
We're gathering to be inside of the counter. Anybody else? I saw you had your hand raised.
I was gonna say pretty much one. No.
Okay. So we are called the gathering because of what it says in Hebrews 10:25. We'll get to that verse in a little bit, but first we're going to take a look at Hebrews 3:13. It says, "You must warn each other every day while it is still today, so that none of you will be deceived by sin and harden against God." What do you think this verse means? What do you think the author is trying to tell us? Way to go, guy. That's a new phone.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Is that announcing?
Does anybody have an answer?
Say that question again.
What do you think that verse means?
You need to be on the lookout.
You need to warn others before it's too late.
Yeah. So it's a warning to not allow stubbornness, sin, or lack of faith to rob you of God's blessings. You see, we need other Christians to help us not get stuck in the path of stubbornness, sin, or lack of faith. We need to be involved in a healthy church relationship with other Christians to give us loving correction. Having healthy relationships with Christians can so we can watch each other's backs. The other thing I want to point out is the word today. The author puts real urgency into that word. So why do you think he puts urgency into that word? Cole?
Because it may be tomorrow or
It may be tomorrow or the day after that. Is that what you said? Okay. Hunter?
Because if you don't tell them today, at some point you're gonna run out of time, and God's gonna come and say,
Yep. So Hunter pretty much got it. Go ahead, ZJ.
No, I was just gonna say tomorrow's not always necessarily guaranteed.
Yeah, it's because we need to help each other while we still can. Which is going to lead us into the next verse, which is our logo, which is in our logo, Hebrews 10:25. And let us not neglect our meeting together, as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near. So that is the verse that is in our logo. Why do you think this verse is so important?
says eating together, gathering, it's talking about kind of describes gathering, I guess.
So it's telling us that we can't neglect meeting together. See, when we meet together, whether it's tonight or Sunday, we're building a bond with not only Jesus but with other Christians too. If we neglect to do that, what do you think we as Christians will start doing? Connor, you kind of went like that a little bit. Xander, drift away from God. Yep, that's it. We would start falling out of our faith and stop going to church functions or attending services or even stop coming here to youth group. We need to gather, so we do the second part of this verse, which is what? Connor. To gather? Yeah, we need to gather because what do we need to do, Connor?
Encourage each other.
Yep, encourage one another. Especially now that Jesus' return is getting closer. You know, each minute, each day, it's getting closer to his return. So time is running out. Time's not on our side. And we as Christians shouldn't want to see anybody go to hell. We want to try and, help our friends and our families gather so they don't go to hell and they get closer to God, so we can see them in heaven. So when we gather together, what do you think happens? When we as Christians gather like this, what do you think is happening? DJ?
It's weakening Satan.
It's weakening Satan?
Pissing them off.
Pissing him off?
Fair enough.
That's a blunt way to say it in a church.
It also, it's also kind of hurting ourselves too. Not in like a bad way, but in like a spiritual warfare sort of way.
Yeah. Hunter?
We can commit sins
By gathering?
by not gathering.
By not gathering, yep. Sorry, you almost threw us for a curveball there.
When we gather, we commit sins. We gather, we commit sins.
So yeah, pretty much when we gather down here on Wednesdays, and when prayer groups upstairs, we're in a spiritual battle. We're on the spiritual battleground with the enemy. Getting closer together, getting stronger, growing our faith. To where it's weakening them, to where they want to fight back, and they fight back harder. And we as a church have seen that this year. I think we as a church were not prepared for it, as we are now. We are prepared for it. So it's a learning curve. I think we've learned from it, and I think we being down here and being together is crucial for us to win that fight in the end. So the next verse that we're going to be taking a look at, it kind of puts that into perspective a little bit. It's Matthew 18:20. Yep. So it says, "Where 2 or 3 gather together as my followers, I am there among them." Who do you think I am is in this verse? Cole? God?
Jesus is the one who's speaking, so it's using first person.
It's Jesus, but Jesus is God. So it's Jesus. When we gather like this, Jesus is here. The Holy Spirit is here. Yeah, they are there, but you know, when we're here, and when we go to God by ourselves, they're there. But when we're here together, it's that much stronger. Because when we go to that fight, to that battle, the saying goes, strength is better in numbers. Am I saying to not go to your war room at home and pray or spend time alone with God? I'm not saying that. You still need to do that. What I'm saying is we need to gather so we can fight the big fight. Elijah.
I guess in my brain, the best way that would describe it would be like, this is the battlefield, and Jesus is the general, or whatever you got. And then, but at home, it's more of the relationship father-son style.
Yeah.
Thing. Here's the fight, and this at home is just the relationship with the general.
Yeah. So we need to do what it says in 1 Thessalonians 5:11. I did it. I couldn't say it earlier, but I said it. Yeah. Well, I'm not expecting you to look it up in the Bible tonight.
I took a screenshot. I was prepared.
You were prepared. You did it. So in now I can't say it.
Thessalonians.
Thank you. So encourage each other and build each other up, just as you are already doing.
He knows.
Yeah. So we need to encourage each other. We need to be by the side of someone hurting. And this doesn't just mean for someone here. Here in this group, it means to be helping other believers that don't go to this church, and even non-believers outside of here and abroad. Just because they don't believe, you could be that person that brings them to Jesus. So as we close out, I want you to remember that us gathering here is important. Not just to you, but to also the others in this room. Think about it. When you're here with other believers. You're here with other people that think the same way you do and want to grow the same way you do. And we need to be each other's rocks. And we need to encourage others. And we need to lean on each other during the good times and the bad. So I'm going to open it up to you guys. Do you guys have any questions about what we discussed tonight? Is there anything that you guys are going through that you want to discuss? We, like I said, we're trying this streaming thing out. We're still working through the bugs and the glitches and stuff, but if you want to go back and re-listen to what I have said, it will be on YouTube. I don't know if I'll post it tonight, but it'll definitely be there tomorrow night. Elizabeth.
I saw something earlier today, and I don't know where it was, but it stuck out in my head. I thought it was really cool. It said something like, "Let's try and overcrowd." I've never thought of it that way. So you're saying how we gather and
Yeah.
we can be that one person to somebody else who all of a sudden wants to be in a relationship with God. That's like
All right, so I'm going to end the stream here, and we're going to get into prayer.